Hello everyone, it's Michaela Valletta, also known as the Body Scientist, and I am live on IG, but I'm going to post this on my YouTube page, the Body Scientist 81. So if you don't follow me on YouTube, be sure to follow me there, and if you don't follow me on IG, be sure to follow me at the_body_scientist. So those of you who know me, you know that I am an exercise scientist. Exercise scientist, sports scientist, strength and conditioning specialist, sports nutritionist, and I study the body and all the ways to take our body to its highest level. And that goes beyond the gym. The gym is important, but there's more to it than that. So I want to talk about why suburban life is unhealthy, okay? And this is, even when talking about the United States, this even pertains to some cities as well, right? And so, like, when you're in the suburbs, number one, it's like there's all these strip malls. You know, people, it's funny because I grew up in New York City, and all my family grew up in suburbs up and down the East Coast. And people would always talk about New York like, oh my God, it's so stressful. All those people all on top of each other. And it's like, the way I viewed New York City was, it's like, especially in Harlem, there are so many parks, right? New York has a really dope park culture, and we use our parks. There's a lot of cities I go to. I live in Chicago now. Chicago has parks. They're not as amazing as New York parks. But people aren't in the parks like that. In New York, we have parks that are different levels. They have big rocks in them. They have like old trees. You can go like be in the bush. There's all types of stuff. And people are always in our parks being active. And when you live in a city, you walk around. Like when I'm in New York, when I'm in Harlem, if I need, I can go downstairs. There's a dry cleaners, a shoe repair, a grocery store, a barbershop, hairdresser, nail salon, clothing stores, all of that in a 2-block radius, right? And those aren't the only ones. You go next 2 blocks, you got more of that, So you can go and walk and get what you need to do. Get what you need really quick. And so you have more access. But when you're in the suburbs and you have to drive 15 minutes over here to get this and drive 15 minutes over here to get that, and you're looking at the same generic looking strip malls, and it's not even for pedestrians because there's no sidewalks. People are going through to drive through banks. They're going to drive through Starbucks, drive through everything. People can't even get their ass out the car just to go inside of someplace. And then you walk out of your house, and your car is right in front of your house. So you take 3 steps from your house to your car, so people are doing absolutely nothing. When you live in a city and you're taking public transportation, you're going up and down train stairs. You're going up and down stairs to come in and out the station, You might be carrying things, like in New York, you see people who might have kids. They got strollers, they got bags. They're going up several flights of stairs with that stuff, When I was in Europe, I didn't get in a car one time when I was in Europe, the whole time. I went from London to Amsterdam to Paris to Madrid and never got in a car. And so that required me to carry my suitcase upstairs and pull it up hills and be active and strong and have to lift it and use my body. Going to the gym is not enough, okay? Going to the gym is not enough. We are meant to use our bodies every single day, living life. And I feel like when you're in the suburbs, and most American cities do not have really good public transportation. Outside of New York, in Chicago, which is why I chose to move to Chicago, because I wanted to be in a city where I didn't have to have a car. Because there are other cities like LA, Atlanta, DC, that have public transportation, but I wouldn't live in those cities without a car. Like, it's not really the best. And in New York, even if you have a car, you don't always park exactly where you're going, So you might, unless you live in Queens, if you're in Harlem or Manhattan, you may park like 5 blocks from where you're going. So you still have to do some type of walking. I grew up in a building with elevators, but there's a lot of New York buildings that don't have elevators. So you're walking up more stairs. People are walking up to the 6th floor. And you don't see a lot of obese people in New York City. You really don't. And I didn't see that in Europe either. They're riding bikes. They, taking public transportation. Even that little bit of walking makes a difference. And I feel like suburban lifestyle is not good. Because the other thing too is when it comes to access to food, right? Every single small town and city in America has these huge, ginormous fucking supermarkets, right? They're the size of a football field. And a lot of times they don't even have what I'm looking for. Like, I like to drink raw coconut water and raw watermelon juice if I'm going to work out. Or I might want to grab some full-fat yogurt before my workout. A lot of those big generic supermarkets in the U.S. don't have that stuff. The big gas station stores and the 7-Elevens, they don't have half of the stuff of a New York bodega. You can go into a bodega in New York City and they will have kombucha, they will have full-fat yogurt, like different kinds of yogurts. They'll have 4 different kinds of coconut water, and one or two of them might be raw. You know, they'll have all those different options. Like they'll have, you know, there's a ginger ale that's made in Brooklyn called Bruce Cost. And you can find it all throughout New York, and you can see the actual ginger floating around. It's made from really good ingredients. You'll find that in the bodegas. But when I'm everywhere else and I'm going to 7-Eleven or I'm going to these gas station stores, they don't have any of that stuff. You know, it's all a whole bunch of crap. And then you're driving so fucking much to get some shit, and then they just have crap, you know? And I'm like, the access. When I see like access to stuff in a lot of these places, is not even that good. It's a whole bunch of generic commercial stuff. I mean, sometimes that could be a little bit different if you're in like California, because like LA and stuff like that, that area is more conscious. But a lot of America, I'm starting to see it's really bad, you know. And I can only find really like what I would drink or use if I go to Whole Foods. In New York, that's not the case. You know, there's so many other options and places to get that. And besides going to Whole Foods, and you know, you're using your body, you're carrying your groceries. You know, when you leave in the daytime, if you're going to take, you know, your gym bag and you're going to carry around your laptop, you're carrying that around all day. You're not just throwing it in your car and driving around, you know. And my body feels like it's wasting away when I'm just sitting in the car. So that's one reason why I think suburban life is unhealthy. And also, I know a lot of people who say they want to move to the suburbs because they want a yard and they blah blah blah. But when I ride through the suburbs in America, and I look, because I'm a watcher, I'm an observer. Especially being from New York, I like to watch. I'm a people watcher. And when I drive through the suburbs, I don't see people outside in their yards. I see I look at houses, I see empty yards. I see balconies, I see nobody on the balcony. I don't see people, everybody's in their house. And a lot of people I know who live in the suburbs, they'll be in the house all day. Then they leave out of the house to get in their car and drive someplace. So you're not even getting sun on your skin. That's the other thing. If you are to get vitamin D when it's sunny, you have to get sun on your skin. And not through car glass, you know, not through the glass at your office or your house. It has to be direct. So if you are in your car, like I always feel like that too when I'm in the suburbs in the car or something and it's a beautiful sunny day, I'm thinking about all this sun and vitamin D dosage is going to waste. And have my skin out and get sun on me, you know, which is also important for my health. So another thing about being in the suburbs, you're not getting enough sun because you're in the car. You're not getting enough movement because you're in the car. And a lot of times access to stuff is not the same either. It's a lot more processed generic stuff. So that's why I will forever be a big city girl. And I feel like New York is a good example of a city with like really amazing parks that people actually use. You know, like I see people doing way more, even in Chicago. I see people being way more active than I see when I'm in the suburbs. I don't see people outside doing that much. But Chicago has the largest beach volleyball league in the country, you know. You have, you know, as soon as I go back, I'm getting on the ice. There's a huge ice skating culture around hockey or whatever. People on the ice skating, being active. Like, cold weather shouldn't stop you. There's cold weather activities. You know, going to the gym, lifting weights. You know, but just keep it moving. You need to keep it moving. You need to keep it moving. Like, it's really, really important not to just sit around all day. If you're driving to work, and then some people sit at work all day, and then you come home and sit some more, that's really bad. And that's how your body wastes away. And you lose your life force and your function a lot earlier than you need to. I'm telling you, okay? So that's my little advice and talk for the day. Okay, so If you don't follow me on YouTube, be sure to follow me at The Body Scientist 81. Check out my other videos. And if you don't follow me on IG, be sure to follow me at _body_scientist. Okay, people, have a good day. Bye.